I've always had a personal interest in science, and this is what led me to study science at university and then become a science teacher. But I did encounter questions from students, and always questions that I'd asked myself about how this related to religious concerns, and it seemed to me that those questions were actually more important than even the science itself. And so it was a question of personal interest, I suppose, and I was more interested in those kinds of issues, and that's what led me to go back to university and to retool in the humanities, and as I say, in philosophy and religion in particular. And it enabled me to get a purchase on these questions, and so really it's to do with my own personal interests that have driven me, as it were, to the area of science and religion. And I think interdisciplinary research of this kind is very rewarding. And again, I think what's interesting about what I've discovered historically is that in the past, the sorts of areas that we tend now to regard as quite disparate, that is to say science and religion, were in the past, in fact, quite intimate. So had I been around in the 17th century, there would be nothing unusual in these interests. But it's the peculiar historical circumstances of the 21st century that make them appear somewhat unusual or even bizarre.